All right, so we are diving deep today into Think Different, Evolve Faster. This book by Dan Lajerskar,
Yeah.
it's really interesting. It's like a guide for how we can all navigate these massive changes that are happening all around us right now,
Yeah.
especially with AI and immersive technologies.
You know what I think is so fascinating about it is that this book really throws out the old rule book. It's not about like small incremental progress. It's like a complete paradigm shift.
Right.
And Lajerskar wants us to think bigger and bolder and really embrace a future of abundance, personalized education, and even becoming a multiplanetary species.
That's a pretty inspiring vision.
It is.
And it feels pretty essential to understand this stuff
if
we want to actually participate in this future.
Absolutely.
Not just kind of watch it happen around us.
Exactly.
So let's jump into it.
Okay.
One of the book's most urgent messages is about the impact of AI. Lajerskar is very clear that this is not just another tech trend.
Right.
This is a fundamental shift that's happening at an unprecedented pace.
Yeah, he actually compares the speed of AI's impact to previous technological revolutions.
Oh, wow.
Think about the adoption of commercial air travel.
Well,
It took decades for airliners to become
Yeah.
mainstream, but AI has the potential to compress what used to take 30 years of change
oh, wow.
into just 3.
Wow, that's mind-blowing.
That's the kind of acceleration we're talking about.
Yeah, and a little bit intimidating, to be honest.
Sure.
But the book doesn't dwell on the fear.
Yeah.
It encourages us to ditch
Yeah.
the scarcity mindset
Yeah.
and embrace abundance.
Which is a pretty radical idea in itself.
It is.
You
right,
know,
right.
it is. And it's one of the key messages I think that makes this book so essential.
Okay.
Lajerskar challenges us to think about resources as nearly limitless,
Okay.
especially with AI managing things.
Okay.
Imagine a massive solar farm in the desert,
Mm.
optimized by AI
Yeah.
to generate enough energy to power millions of homes.
So instead of fighting over dwindling resources,
Right.
we could actually have more than enough for everyone.
Yeah,
That's a pretty exciting idea.
it is exciting.
And it's not just limited to energy, right?
Exactly. The book also talks about
Yeah.
how AI-powered 3D printing could change the game.
Mm.
We could produce goods on demand, personalize products to meet individual needs,
Wow.
and minimize waste in the process. There's even a real-world example of this kind of leapfrogging in the book.
Oh, really?
Remember the case study about regions in Africa that bypassed expensive landline infrastructure
Right.
and went straight to mobile networks?
Yeah, that's a great example.
That's abundance in action.
Totally. I mean, it's like they skipped a whole generation of technology and jumped right to a more efficient solution.
Yeah.
I can definitely see how that abundance mindset is essential
Right.
if we're going to navigate this new era successfully. But what about the human element in all of this?
Yeah.
I mean, this technology is moving so fast, it's easy to feel like we're being left behind.
Well, that's where the concept of Human 2.0 comes in.
Okay.
And this is another reason I think why this book is so essential.
Okay.
Lajerskar argues that AI won't simply replace us. It will liberate us from routine tasks and allow us to focus on what makes us uniquely human.
Right.
Things like empathy, creativity, and complex problem solving.
Okay, so it's an upgrade, not a replacement.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm still trying to wrap my head around what that actually looks like.
Sure.
What does Human 2.0 even look like?
Well, Lajerskar emphasizes
Yeah.
the importance of lifelong learning in this context.
Okay.
It's about constantly adapting and acquiring new skills to thrive
Right.
in an AI-powered world. Imagine picking up micro-certifications in any field,
Okay.
guided by an AI that tailors your education to your specific needs
Mm.
and interests.
So instead of being afraid of AI taking our jobs, we should be thinking about how it can actually help us
Exactly.
level up our skills and find new opportunities.
For sure.
I can definitely see how that's a more empowering way to look at it.
Absolutely. It's about embracing change and seeing AI as a tool to enhance our abilities, not a threat to our existence. And that brings us to another area where I think this book really shines.
Okay.
Education.
Mm.
Lajerskar argues that traditional classrooms are becoming increasingly outdated in this rapidly changing world.
Right.
And he envisions a future where AI personalizes learning, virtual reality transports students to any location imaginable, and teachers become more like mentors guiding exploration rather than just delivering facts.
So instead of rows of desks and lectures, we're talking about immersive experiences and personalized learning journeys.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing, but how realistic is it?
Well, Lidgerskar points to several real-world examples that are already happening.
Right.
There are AI-powered platforms that adapt to each student's learning pace and style, providing customized lessons and feedback.
Okay.
And virtual reality is being used to create incredible learning experiences,
Yeah.
allowing students to explore ancient ruins, dissect virtual organs, or even walk on the moon.
That's incredible.
It is pretty amazing.
I can see how those kinds of experiences would make learning so much more engaging and effective.
Right?
But what about access? I mean, this technology can be expensive.
Yeah.
How do we ensure that everyone benefits from this educational revolution, not just those who can afford it?
That's a critical point.
Yeah.
And Lidgerskar addresses it head on.
Okay.
He believes that AI can actually help level the playing field when it comes to education. Imagine a child in a remote village
Okay.
with just a smartphone
Yeah.
and access to an AI-powered learning platform.
Okay.
Suddenly, they have access to the same quality of education as someone in a top-tier city school.
That's a powerful idea.
It is.
It could completely transform the way we think about education and opportunity.
I think so.
But let's be honest. There are also some legitimate concerns about AI,
Sure.
especially when it comes to ethics.
Mm-hmm.
How do we make sure that this technology is used for good and doesn't end up creating more problems than it solves?
That's where spiritual tech comes in.
Okay.
And it's another key takeaway from the book. Lidgerskar is adamant that we need to build AI with humanity at its core.
Okay.
That means designing algorithms that are fair, transparent, and consider the ethical implications of every decision.
So it's not just about making AI that's smart.
Right.
It's about making AI that's ethical.
Exactly.
But how do we actually do that?
Well, he talks about the importance of establishing clear ethical frameworks and guidelines for AI development.
Okay.
For example, we could create algorithms that are auditable, so we can understand how they're making decisions.
Right.
Or we could require AI systems to undergo
Yeah.
rigorous ethical testing before they're deployed. It's like building in safeguards from the ground up.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
It's about being proactive and thoughtful in how we develop and implement this technology.
Absolutely.
But it's not just about regulations and guidelines, right?
No.
It's also about the people who are creating this technology.
Absolutely. Lidgerskar stresses the importance of diversity and inclusion in the field of AI. We need teams of developers from different backgrounds, cultures, and perspectives to ensure that the AI systems we create reflect the values of humanity as a whole.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The more diverse the voices are in the room,
For sure.
the less likely we are to end up with AI that's biased or discriminatory.
Right.
It's about making sure this technology serves everyone, not just a select few. But all of this talk about AI and its impact on the future has got me wondering, where does this all lead? I mean, what's the end game here?
Well, Lidgerskar takes us on a pretty incredible journey in the book.
Okay.
Exploring everything from personalized education to the possibility of becoming a multiplanetary species. And while he doesn't necessarily lay out a specific end game, he does offer a powerful vision for the future.
So let's dive into that vision.
Okay.
What are some of the key ideas that Lidgerskar presents about where all of this could be heading?
One of the most compelling ideas is the concept of humanity's continued evolution.
Okay.
He refers to it as human 3.0, 4.0, and beyond.
Okay, now we're getting into some seriously futuristic territory.
I know.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
Human 3.0.
He paints this picture of a future where we have neural interfaces that enhance our cognitive abilities, gene editing that extends our lifespans, and even the possibility of uploading our consciousness into digital realms.
I'm trying to wrap my head around that. I mean, neural interfaces and uploading consciousness, that's pretty wild.
It is pretty mind-blowing.
But even if it is possible, wouldn't that raise a whole host of ethical issues?
Absolutely. Lidgerskar doesn't shy away from those concerns. He acknowledges the potential risks and challenges associated with these advancements, including issues like wealth inequality, surveillance, and the very definition of what it means to be human.
So it's not all sunshine and roses.
No, definitely not.
There are some serious downsides to consider as well.
Yeah, there are definitely potential downsides.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
It sounds like Lajerskar isn't just blindly optimistic about the future.
Right.
He's also realistic about the challenges we'll face along the way.
Exactly. He reminds us that we have a choice in how we shape this future.
Okay.
We can use these technologies to amplify our best qualities.
Right.
Compassion, creativity, curiosity.
Mm.
Or we can allow them to control us, leading to a dystopian outcome where human values are eroded.
That's a sobering thought.
It is.
It really underscores the importance of reading this book and understanding these concepts.
Absolutely.
Think different, evolve faster
Mm-hmm.
isn't just a technological roadmap. It's a call to action, a challenge for each of us to step up and be active participants in shaping this future.
And to be informed participants,
Yeah.
Lajerskar reminds us that the future isn't predetermined.
Right.
It's something we create through our choices and actions.
Hmm.
And the choices we make today, how we learn, how we work, how we interact with technology, will determine the kind of world we leave behind for future generations.
That's a powerful message. But all this talk about the future is making me feel a little overwhelmed. I need a break to process all of this.
Sure.
What key takeaways from Think Different, Evolve Faster should our listeners remember? Okay, welcome back to our deep dive into Think Different, Evolve Faster. I think it's safe to say this book has really made us think.
It really has.
We've been talking about AI's potential to change everything,
Yeah.
from how we educate ourselves to how we manage resources,
Mhm.
even our own evolution as a species.
Yeah.
But with all the technology and futuristic scenarios, what are some of the big ideas Lajerskar wants us to take away?
One of the most powerful takeaways for me is that we're not just watching this technological revolution happen.
Mm-hmm.
We are active participants. The choices we make right now will shape the future.
I like that. It's empowering to think that we have a say in this rapidly changing world. But it can be tough to know where to start. What are some practical things readers can do to embrace this think different, evolve faster mindset?
Well, Lajerskar has a bunch of suggestions, and they don't require you to be a tech expert or super rich.
Okay.
He encourages readers to join local innovation hubs, support companies that are developing ethical technology, and advocate for policies that make sure everyone has access to AI tools and education.
So it's about being active in our communities, using our voices and our choices to support the future we want, recognizing that we're all in this together.
Exactly.
What else does he suggest?
He also emphasizes the importance of always learning, whether it's taking online courses, getting micro-certifications, or just staying curious and exploring new ideas. He challenges us to become lifelong learners, always adapting and expanding our skills to thrive in an AI-powered world.
That makes sense. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the pace of change, but if we embrace that lifelong learning mindset, it can feel more like an exciting adventure.
Yeah.
I'm definitely feeling inspired by all of this. As we wrap up this deep dive, what would you say is the core message of this book, if you could sum it up in one sentence?
The future is not something that just happens to us. We create it. The choices we make today, big or small, will determine whether AI leads to a more just, fulfilling, and awe-inspiring world or something much darker.
That's a powerful reminder. And I think it's a great way to end our conversation. To everyone listening, Think Different, Evolve Faster is a call to action, a challenge to shape the future with AI. It's about embracing abundance, rethinking education, building AI with humanity at its center, and evolving into more conscious and empowered versions of ourselves. If this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, I highly recommend reading the book. You might just discover that the future is more exciting than you ever imagined.